Today on Beyond, find out how your handwriting can change your love life.
This person's loops just go way down. There's no sense of commitment with this person.
What does her handwriting reveal about her relationships? The truth's coming out later on Beyond. But first,
they have a word for when you lose your parents, you become an orphan. They have a word for when you lose your husband or wife, you become a widow or a widower. But there is no word for a parent that has lost a child because it's unspeakable.
Diane experienced the unspeakable when her 13-year-old son Michael committed suicide.
Michael's death was not only not expected, it was very, very complicated. I carry a lot of guilt. That's a big load for me to carry.
Michael hanged himself just hours after arguing with his mom over chores.
When I found my son, something inside me broke. And I know this was a knee-jerk reaction to what I had said to him. I will never forget what I said to him. I told him that he was never going to change.
Diane is finding it impossible to come to terms with her own guilt.
People want to tell me that it's not my fault, but they don't know Michael.
She's hoping that James will be able to tell her what she so desperately needs to hear.
I would like to hear from James today that my son does forgive me. I think that he does. It sure would be nice to hear it.
Using his extraordinary psychic ability to communicate with spirits, he's transformed lives by unlocking mysteries and sharing secrets from the other side. James Van Praagh, best-selling author, renowned medium, and your connection to the world beyond.
Hi, Diane, yes?
Hi, James.
How are you? Nice to meet you, sweetheart.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming here today. I know that you want to contact your son who committed suicide, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so we'll see what if he can come through and what can happen here.
Okay.
Is your father in spirit as well, please?
Absolutely.
Because he wants to come through first, okay? And he wants to say he's sorry to you. I don't know what for, but he's just saying he's sorry, and he's learned lessons that he was not aware of when he was alive on the earth, okay?
I was very close to my dad.
I understand that. And was your son close to your father, please?
No, my dad.
Did you not know him?
No.
He knows him now. He knows him now. It's very similar, though. I'm telling you the personality here. Hold on. Gotcha.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
He wants to bring your son here.
Excellent.
A lot of sadness. A lot of sadness here. Lots of sadness here when he comes through. And a lot of depression here with him. Okay? I got you. Are you separated from his father, please?
Yes, I am. Actually, in the delivery room, James.
Okay. So he didn't really know his dad too well, did he?
No, not at all. He was always very sad about that.
Oh, that's a big one for him.
That is a big one for him.
That's the big one. He's telling me he felt like denied that he didn't have a father.
That's right.
And that didn't help him.
No, it didn't.
And that really caused him a lot of problems. I understand that. This was not your fault. Understand, this was not your fault. He wants me to relate to you, this was not your fault. And he knows that you loved him, and it wasn't that you didn't love him. You understand?
Yes.
You are a good mom, and you got to understand that you're a good mother, and you are a good mother.
I do understand that, and I would say that.
Do you ever
I'm
go
a
to
very
country
good mother.
fairs or craft fairs or do something with crafts at all? Okay?
Okay, we used to go to flea market.
Flea market, okay.
Okay.
He has the memory of doing this with you.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to skate something.
Skateboard.
Yeah. Does the brother have the skateboard?
No.
Where's the skateboard? Do you have it?
No,
What happened to it?
it's a very special skateboard. It was called a longboard, and it had what he called Murpha-Lurfa wheels on it. And it was given to his best friend, Ruben.
After he passed over, he was given to him?
That week. It was very hard for me to give away those things. But
Did you do something with his funeral with the ocean or the water?
Oh, yes, we did.
I don't know with flowers, but the flowers or something with the ocean he's talking to me about. I don't know why. And he's talking about swimming, okay, in the water. He's showing me water here. Okay?
I have a wonderful picture of him underwater.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I think he must have loved the water or being around the water because that's where he likes to go. And he keeps on talking about this, all right?
He was at the water every day, James.
Okay. How about questions? Do you have any questions you would like to ask about him?
if Michael has been able to hear me to help these other children. In losing him, I've hooked up with this recovery group online.
Yeah, what a wonderful opportunity. I mean, in a way, his death was not in vain. And you've made it that way. You've helped that way to help other people. So thank God.
Thank you.
I understand that. He said, yes, Mom, I watch you and I help you do the work. So he's helping you do the work. He's always with you, sweetie. He's always with you and he can hear your thoughts.
He can't hear my thoughts.
He can hear your thoughts. So you do not need me for that.
Okay.
He hears your thoughts. All right, sweetie. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And a lot of depression here with him.
James said he was depressed and he felt denied in some way that he didn't have a father.
That was a definite hit on sadness, but not depression. He was anything but depressed. He would have bouts of sadness.
Sure.
You know, Michael and I were very, very close. We would talk about anything, and he often expressed that as being his one sadness. He really couldn't understand why he didn't have a dad or why his father denied him.
Is your father in spirit as well, please?
Absolutely.
Because he wants to come through first.
My dad and I didn't have a good relationship in my teenage years, and we got very close at the time of his death. And I often think about my dad, but not really in the spirit world sense. When you have a death in your family, you're able to process various different deaths, I think, but the one that has just altered my life, of course, is the death of my child.
This was not your fault. He wants me to relate to you. This was not your fault. And he knows that you loved him.
I think Michael has forgiven me. I'm having a hard time forgiving myself.
You know, we have an aftercare program here at the show. Is that something you think you might be interested in talking to someone to help you move on and deal with what I know is a difficult thing?
First of all, you don't move on. You don't get over something like this.
Not get over.
You try to get through it.
You try to get through it, try to move on as best you can.
Right, but it's not a matter of moving on. Everywhere I go, I'm going to bring Michael with me.
Still to come, her sister is begging her to help her brother.
I need to help him. We need to help him right now.
Will James make her understand the urgency of this request? Plus, can handwriting really save your love life?
So we're talking about a strong, secure man who is in no way intimidated by you.
Coming up next, on Beyond.
Welcome back. Joining us right now is a psychic who specializes in graphology, which is the art of handwriting analysis. She's the author of Love Letters, the romantic secrets hidden in our handwriting. She's helped thousands of people make better choices in their relationships. Everyone, please let's welcome Paula Roberts to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, first of all, how exactly does graphology work?
We don't know.
We don't know.
It's somewhere between an art and a science.
Okay.
All I know is it works. It absolutely works. It's about 90% accurate.
Okay, so graphology basically is looking at the handwriting.
It's your characteristics, your personality, which is all in the little squiggles and curls of each of our handwritings.
All right, let's get down to business. How can we use it to improve our love life?
What I do with compatibility, you've got to look at your handwriting and the significant others. But you know the really, really, really hard part of it that nobody ever wants to do, nobody does? They don't want to look at themselves.
Let's try this out. We have a couple
Right.
ladies here who
Hello
would
there.
love your help talking about their love lives. Let's welcome, first of all, Erica to the show. Hi, Erica.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Now, Erica, you have no man right now.
No.
You're trying to find a man.
Try it.
You live in LA, and I have
Help.
tons of single girlfriends, and they say they can't find a man in LA. Tell me your story. What's the problem?
Well, I mean, I've been in LA for quite some time now, I think almost 8 years, and it's completely different.
What's been tough for you?
I think what's been tough is that I think everybody is very interested while they're in Los Angeles in being the one personally in the spotlight or whatever, just because they're here.
Okay, it's Paula. How can Erica find a man?
Well, I'm not necessarily going to tell her how to find a man, but
Okay.
I think we're going to get a look at Erica's handwriting in a moment.
Okay.
Because she said something incredibly interesting, or at
What's
least
that?
interesting to me. She said that she finds people want to be in the spotlight. Now, I've already had a look at Erica's handwriting. Erica is, by nature, an introverted person. Your handwriting slopes off to the left, it's backwards. People with this left-hand slope, in fact, make the most loyal, committed partners of all, because you don't call 20 people your best friend. You have no concept of that at all. In looking for a partner, Erica, with this left-hand slope, you need somebody of an independent nature, or ideally, somebody whose handwriting goes off to the left as you do yourself. If you even imagine you want to be with somebody in the spotlight, we're off on the wrong course before we start.
What do you think?
Well, I am looking for somebody who adores me.
Are you looking for an
And-
independent man? Paula says that's what you need.
Absolutely.
Yes, not a smotherer.
That is very important to me, but I need for him not to be inconsistent.
Okay.
I need a man who's going to be consistent, who's going to be faithful and be able to commit, because what I've experienced is that they're inconsistent, non-committal, and unfaithful.
Okay, all right, let's
exactly.
move on. Let's move on real quick to Suzanne. What's been going on in your love
Actually,
life?
it's opposite of Erica.
I mean, oh, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say
seriously,
that.
Let's hear the story. Go ahead, Suzanne.
Like yesterday or the day before, my ex-boyfriend just called me up saying, I love you. And he just kept saying it on the telephone. I'm like, okay, I love you too. I got to go bye. And I hung up. But it's opposite of her. It's just the men that I attract are really good men. They really are. It's just maybe I'm scared of commitment, or I don't know what it is.
Now, what we've got here is indeed, you used my words, the opposite. This handwriting goes, you see, way off to the right. Now, most people's handwriting goes off to the right. It talks about the people, the extroverted people. The more exaggeratedly the slope off is to the right, as is yours, the more emotionally both needy but also giving. So there are extremes of emotions here. And then on top of this, you see this Y goes sweeping down there, and it clashes into the letter underneath. Twice you do it. That is anxiety attacks. Now, I don't say you're having them 3 times a week.
I'm popping Valium.
Suzanne, what do you think about what you're hearing? Do you have anxiety attacks?
No, I really don't.
Okay.
Don't?
No.
Emotional outpourings?
I'm sensitive. I'm very sensitive, but I don't have
Well,
anxiety
perhaps it's a
attacks.
question of semantics.
Paula, let's get
because-
to the kind of guy that she needs, just based on her writing.
Somebody who is, should we say, able to deal with these extreme emotions. So we're talking about a strong, secure man who is in no way intimidated by you, because that would be a possibility.
Now, Paula, both description of the men you described, I think is something every woman wants, though.
Well,
Don't you think?
perhaps so. But these two ladies, and what I would like to point out, if I may, is the two completely different characters, and if I may suggest, the two completely different ways you are dressed.
Well, ladies, I hope this was helpful for you. You got a little insight into the male character that you need in your life. What do you think?
Yeah,
It's
I think
interesting.
It was great. It was
Yeah.
very interesting.
Okay, Erica, Suzanne, thank you both. I wish you luck. I hope Paula was some help to you today. And good luck finding your perfect guy. Everyone in our studio audience today will be receiving a copy of Paula's book. Yay! Thank you for that. Thank you very much. And we'll be right back.
Next, why is her deceased sister still fretting over how she left the house?
I know that the house was a wreck. She's apologizing that she didn't keep things, she was not very tidy.
She's going to come clean over some family dirt. Next, on Beyond.
Is there someone that knows a lady, a mother figure that passes with breast cancer? Is that you? Okay. Okay, I'm not sure which one I'm with here. Any connection with a V, like a Virginia or a Veronica? Is that your mother who passed away with breast cancer,
I'm
please?
Veronica, but my mother died of lung cancer.
Oh, okay. Was this away from you?
Yes.
In a different state or something? Or
No.
different, was it with you in a different state?
Yes.
That's where I am. I'm with the lady behind you. I understand that. There's something about the breast cancer. I'm sorry. She's going on about being sorry about it, sorry about it, sorry about it. And I wasn't checked. I wasn't checked in time. And there was someone just telling her beforehand to check something out, and she didn't listen. And she never took care of her health. She didn't listen. You understand that?
That's correct.
I'm going to ask you also, she's going on about either it starts with the breast and then it goes somewhere else.
Yes.
And there's cancer somewhere else besides, or it spreads very quickly. You understand this?
Yes.
Okay. It's like another total part of the body.
Yes.
Okay? But separate from that, she keeps on saying to me, separate from that. I know that the house was a wreck after when she's apologizing that she didn't keep things, she was not very tidy, not very neat. Yeah, and things were piled up, and you had to go through all the old papers, and she kept everything. It was like she was like a pack rat.
Yes, she was.
Yes, because she's showing me this.
I have some of them now.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to go to your house yet. Let's just go to her house first. I'm talking about a brother here. Her brother. Is there her brother, please?
Brother.
And he's in spirit as well, please, or is he here?
No, but she watched over him throughout her life.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's still alive.
He's
Yes,
still
her
alive.
brother? Okay. There's an initial H for someone. Not sure the H is with him.
No,
I'm not sure, but let me just keep on moving on here. She's talking about him, her brother. I need to help him.
Yes.
So, okay? So we need to help him right now, she's telling me.
have been
Right
doing
now. Why is it that he's either been relocated or is moving or, hold on. Did you just relocate him or change?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's what it means. Go on. There's a child that passes over also. I think she either lost a child. Understand this?
Yes.
Thank you. Because she's with the child that passed over
We
also.
talked about that, yes.
You talked about that?
Before she passed, yes.
Oh, she was going to see them. Okay.
That's exactly what I said to her.
So you helped your mom over.
This is my sister, but she was my mother figure, yes.
Okay. You helped her over.
Yes, I did.
I want to thank you for helping her over. Really strongly. Wow, very strong karmic connection.
She called me the night before, and she thanked me for just that, for being with her.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to leave you with that, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. So we need to help him right now, she's telling me.
have been
Right
doing
now.
Your sister says you need to help your brother. Can you tell us why?
Well, she was my older sister, and
Yeah.
she kind of took care of us emotionally, and my brother was always kind of the outcast of the family. He never liked to do family things. And the last few years he's a little lost. I brought him out here in March because he had lost his job. He was having problems with a girlfriend, and I wanted him to start anew living with me in California.
Was there a moment in the read today where you felt like James made a connection?
Oh my God, the electricity was absolutely incredible.
Really?
Yes, I could feel her energy through him.
There's an initial H for someone. Not sure the H is.
My sister dated a young man throughout high school. His name was Henry, and she was engaged to him. And the engagement broke off very abruptly, and he went into the military, and for some reason we never heard from Henry again.
But Henry sure showed up in the reading,
Yes.
didn't he?
Yeah, that was the
thank
family
you.
joke.
I'm glad it was positive for you. Thank you very much.
If you'd like a chance for a reading with James, send a letter to Beyond, P.O. Box 4399, Hollywood, California, 90078.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, James, you watched the handwriting analysis backstage.
did.
What do you think about all that?
I think it's wonderful. I think you're very gifted. And I think
Thank you.
graphology is, of course, a wonderful science in its own way. And
Yes, it is,
a
yeah.
wonderful identification of the personality.
Well, let's see how gifted you are when it comes to James. We have a sample of your
Do we
handwriting.
have the handwriting?
Look at that
There we
signature.
go.
How
Well, you know.
big is that signature? What does
Well,
it say?
Let's tell you why the whole signature is big. You see these big twirly bits here at the end of this? I'll tell you what that tells me. That the person was in the kind of school play or school choir. Later in life, it's an innate ability to enthuse groups of people. Now, I know one could say, well, hey, he's sitting here, and we know he does that. But makes no difference. This is called the orator's sweep. These high upper loops That's the spiritual aspect.
Quite
Also, you see, I want you to see the J and the P are the same size.
Oh my goodness,
No.
you know, it's really interesting because we're running out of time. I'm so sorry. But you can
No,
really
I wanna
learn
go on
so
and learn
much.
more about
We gotta
myself.
end the show. You
Okay,
say
all right, we'll
goodbye.
talk some
No.
more.
Thank you
for joining
Paula.
us.
Thank
Read Paul's
you.
book. We'll see you next time.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye.